Welcome to Mamahood After Trauma, where healing and mamahood intersect. I'm Emily, your host. Join us as we discover practical strategies to nurture ourselves with kindness and understanding. Stay tuned for insights and inspiration to support you on your path of healing and growth. Let's dive in together. This is Mamahood After Trauma. Hello, Mama, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Mamahood After Trauma podcast. I am so thankful that you have taken some time out of your busy day to tune in and listen to this episode. In this episode, I want to take some time and recognize that so much of what I talk about here on the podcast, what I talk about on my Instagram feed, and through the Mended Mama method is about regulating your nervous system, healing your nervous system from the trauma, because being a mama is so triggering. And there are times when we feel like we don't have the tools that are necessary. And so in this episode of the podcast, I want to share with you some of the tools that I use or have used on my own nervous system recovery journey to help regulate my nervous system, because when your nervous system is dysregulated, you feel a lot more anxiety, you're more on edge, it's harder to be in the present. And so I want to share with you some of the tools that I use or have used over the course of my journey to give you a bit of, maybe you'll take some ideas from this, some things that you can implement for yourself, and things that you can also use. I do want to note that I am not affiliated with any of these products, although if these companies do want to collaborate, I would be very open to that. So the first and most foundational tool that I have is my journal. Okay. And this, I like to organize mine with tabs. It's more like a bullet journal for me than a journal. But this is my safe place. This is where I can get all of my feels out onto paper. It's where I can process things. When I get this pen in my hand and put it to paper, things, feelings, words, thoughts just flow out of me. And I just want to say that it was not always like that. Because for such a long time, before I journaled, I just bottled it all up inside, right? And so it was stuck. And it took a while and a lot of patience for it to get unstuck. And so that is one of the tools that I used to help regulate my nervous system. And so the next tool that I have used are affirmations. So these are affirmation cards with affirmations on them that I have used and have um, put into a deck. Um, Things like, let me see here. I shine my light brightly for all to see. And when I was using affirmations regularly, I would say the affirmation out loud, like I just did. And then I would listen. What's coming up for me? And that would be my journaling. Okay. And then I would say it again. What is coming up that's not true? Okay. What beliefs are coming up for me that make this statement not true? And so these affirmation cards really helped me. This one, I'm intentional with my thoughts. Your thoughts are so, so important. I am worthy of my joyfully abundant life. Now, abundance could mean a lot of things. Doesn't, I'm worthy of goodness. Oops. I surround myself with love. So I choose to speak life. These are just affirmations that I created for myself and put them into a deck because I thought, maybe somebody else would want to have them. So yeah, affirmations are really helpful for um, rewiring your neural pathways in your brain and creating new life giving, life speaking beliefs. Because often when we are growing up in a traumatic environment or we are the victims of abuse, neglect, what have you, we tend to have beliefs about ourselves, about the world, about how we show up in the world that keep us safe in the moment. But in the long term, they don't serve us. And so affirmations and journaling are great for, first of all, getting the feelings out, because if they stay in, they're not going to serve you. They're actually going to cause disease and dysfunction, dis-ease and dysfunction, and it's going to make you feel icky. Just icky. And I wish there was a better way to describe it, but it makes you feel icky. Another thing that I found to be helpful was learning how to utilize mindful breathing. And this can be particularly tricky for us as trauma survivors because we have a tendency to hold our breath. Hold your breath so that it holds more tension in the body. So learning how to breathe and control your breath can be really tricky. When I first started learning how to control my breath and utilize mindful breathing, I felt like I was out of breath. I felt like I was holding my breath. And so if you are someone who um, needs to have a tool to help you, um, this is called uh, Calm Go, and it is a drug-free, it looks like an inhaler, okay? And it does take a battery, but this is to help you regulate your breathing. Okay, so if you are in a triggering situation and you are breathing really heavily, quickly, shallow, this tool can help you to calm your breath. Okay. And it also, inside here, there is a fragrance um, thing, uh, thing. My words aren't working. But so this, mine is lavender because lavender is a very relaxing scent. And so you turn it on, it vibrates, the green light is on, then you just inhale and exhale. And it will vibrate when you've fully exhaled. Now, if you have been following the podcast or me for long, you may remember that my favorite mindful breathing technique is called 557 breathing. And this tool can help you to learn how to do that. So, again, I'm not affiliated with any of these products that I'm showing you. It's just things that I've used and have found helpful, and so I'm sharing them with you. Um, so there's the Kamigo. Another breathing tool you may already know about these. These are mindful breathing balls. So the let me push my chair out here some. The the idea is that when you pull the ball out, you inhale and then you push it in and exhale. And using these tools can help you to calm your breath and it gives you something else to focus on. All right, my last tool that I want to share with you is something that I discovered recently. Actually, there's two more things that I want to share with you. This last tool is something that I discovered recently, and I find them to be life-changing. So I was not aware until my kids came to me and said, Mommy, I am sensitive to sound. Or we would be somewhere like a church a church sanctuary where there's lots of people talking, lots of noise, and my kids would be walking around like this because the noise was too much for them. And I've known that when my kids are throwing big meltdowns, um, it impacts my nervous system, but I never connected that with being in crowded places in public. I have recently started using loop earplugs. Um, and they're just little like this. I use these when I am in public and it is loud, and I start to feel the anxiety rising in my chest. I start to feel like I'm getting that crawling out of your skin kind of feeling. And so I put these in. It reduces the sound so that I can tolerate it, but I can still have conversations. I can still be social, and I can participate more fully, be more present in whatever I'm doing to with my nervous system not on the fritz. Okay, so you just put them in your ear and then you twist and it just sits in your ear like that. And if we were to have a conversation, I would still be able to hear you. And so I typically keep these on my key ring with my car keys and everything so that I have them on the go. But I have found these to be particularly life-changing because, it's no fun to be out in public when you feel like you're you're going to crawl out of your skin because your nervous system just can't handle the volume of sound. Okay. They have different noise reduction levels. I got the middle. I think it's experience. They have engage, experience, and quiet. I got the experience ones. The last one is an app that I want to share with you. It's called Finch, and any of my fellow millennials who grew up in the mid to late 90s and had a Tamagotchi, this app is amazing because it incorporates self-care, mental health, and you get to grow a critter. So this is mine. This is Pebbles. And Pebbles and I have been hanging out for the last 31 days, and she helps me to remember to take care of myself and get my chores done and all of that thing because my memory is terrible. I hyper fixate on certain things. So the symposium was last week. I was hyper fixated on that. If it was not for Pebbles, I would have been a mess. And I recognize that it adds gamification to personal care, chores, healthy habits, okay? And there's no judgment around, oh, you didn't get that thing done today. It's not condemning. It's just a tool to help you. So I've covered a lot of different tools, but they all serve a purpose in helping your nervous system recover, caring for your nervous system, caring for yourself in this trauma recovery journey in the midst of mamahooding. If you found this helpful, I have so much more in the works. I hope that you will subscribe and come back and hang out with me and the amazing guests that I have every Tuesday. That is all for today, Mama. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And remember to smile. Keep pushing through. You've got this. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to tune in to this episode of the Mamahood After Trauma podcast. If you would like more of the Mamahood After Trauma community, make sure to look in the description of this episode for the link to become a Mamahood After Trauma Inner Circle member. Until next time, Mama, keep